Hi, I'm Chase Hopkins. Welcome back to Budget Compass. The point of this video is simple. Teach people how they get in debt and the two methods I recommend to get out of debt. What's on the agenda for this video? We're going to review the blueprint, talk about the three biggest causes of debt, explain what a mortgage is, explain mortgage acceleration, talk about debt stacking and snowballing, and then talk about the next steps you can take. Welcome to floors 3 and 7. I know we're going out of order, but I promise it makes sense to bring these two together. Now, on to the three biggest causes of debt: credit card debts, student loans, and mortgages. Credit cards aren't something you should openly trust. Here's an example. Like you can see here, a one-time $3,000 credit card charge with no additional purchases with an 18% interest rate reduced only by the required minimum payments takes 10 years to pay off, and you pay $2,002 in interest charges. That's a total of $5,002. That is how people fall into debt, by not understanding that a credit card isn't something of just using your money. It's using money you don't have with interest that you need to pay off. Now, what is mortgage acceleration? A mortgage is a secured loan used to purchase real estate where property acts as collateral, meaning that if you default or do not make your payments, they take the property to secure repayment to the lender, in most cases a bank. It is a long-term financial contract, often spanning 15 to 30 years depending on your mortgage and the amount you pay, allowing borrowers to afford a home with a down payment while the lender, like I said, most likely the bank, holds a line on the property until the debt is repaid. The thing I recommend for mortgage is a mortgage acceleration, which is when you pay off your mortgage ahead of schedule to minimize the amount of interest you pay and minimize the amount of money you pay overall. This is done either through biweekly payments or by using a home equity line of credit, aka a HELOC. A HELOC is a type of mortgage loan program that resembles the combination of a home equity loan and a checking account. Borrowers' paychecks, so in this case you're the borrower, are deposited directly into the mortgage account, and that account reduces the mortgage balance. Then, as checks are written against the account during the month, the mortgage balance rises. Any amount deposited in the account that is not withdrawn through the check writing process is applied to the mortgage balance at the end of the month and repays the loan and moves the mortgage balance down. Now, how do you get out of debts that aren't mortgages, like credit cards or student loans? What you have here is debt snowballing or stacking. Here, let's look at the first debt. Debt 1, Victoria's Secret, a $45 minimum payment each month. When you pay off your projected payoff date for $45, you avoid $5.20 of interest. Then we move on to the next debt, Children's Place. Well, we just finished paying off Victoria's Secret, and that money wasn't needed for me to get by. So, for me to have more money in the long run and more money for emergencies, I'll put that Victoria's Secret money towards paying off my next debt, Children's Place. Then, that's which is only $30, but with my 45, that's $75, which means it gets paid off much faster. Then you add that $75 to TJ Maxx, which is only $37, making it $112. This lets you pay off loans faster, save money, and have more money at your disposal. The money that you pay off with the debt snowballs. That's why we call it debt snowballing, or it stacks on top of each other, debt stacking. Now, what are the next steps you can take? There aren't really any concrete next steps that I can really give you. Not everyone's in debt. The only thing that I can give you advice for is, if you are, attempt debt stacking, or for a mortgage, you can attempt a mortgage acceleration if you can afford it. However, do not take out a policy or begin something that you cannot afford or that will impact you negatively. Thank you. And if you have any questions, contact me at chase.hopkins@outlook.com.